All right, Khan. Shalom, shalom, Israel, shalom to the Torah tribes, Yasharala, giving the course. All honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh. By Shema Mashah, Wamalak Yahweh Shah. That's all praises, honor, glorification unto the Most High God, Yahweh. In the name of Zoma God, Son Yahweh Shah, this brother Yasharala.
Brother AHBAYAH.
Coming back, y'all, yet another video through the Spirit and power of Yahweh. By Shema Mashah, Wamalak Yahweh Shah. Right? And Lord willing, all Israel's having a blessed, beautiful, beautiful Shabbat through the Spirit and power of Yahweh, Shema Yahweh Shah. And, you know, another day of laboring, another day of rest through the Spirit, another day of praising the name of the Lord, right? So, secondly, of course, the brothers to the right of me, brother AHBAYAH, all right, faithful brother unto me. You know what I'm saying? We've been doing this for the past almost 2 years through the Spirit. Friday night videos going into various topics. So, hey, without further ado, we're gonna get straight into it, man. So, we've been going through First Peter, the whole book, trying to break it down through the Spirit. However much wisdom the Lord gave unto us, we're going to distribute it to the people because that's what the Lord said to do, right? So we in the First Peter, the 5th chapter now, right? Really touching on the life of a shepherd, right? So you call yourself a teacher, you call yourself an apostle, you might call yourself a disciple of Yahweh Shah, all right? And someone that has wisdom, and especially you talk to you men, all right? Talking to you men, hey, guess what? You're a shepherd, okay? You're a shepherd onto the sheep, all right? Doesn't matter oh, I'm just a soldier. I'm not a shepherd, brother. Yes, you are a shepherd, man. You are a shepherd still, nevertheless, because you have many shepherds. And we're going to go into that in First Peter chapter 5. So, Khan, without further ado, let's get straight to it.
Khan. This is the book of 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 1. The elders which are among you I exhort, who am also an elder, and a witness of the sufferings of Christ, and also a partaker of the glory that shall be revealed.
Khan, so the first verse in First Peter 5, Peter is identifying himself as an elder because he says, who am also an elder and a witness of the sufferings of Mahashiach, and also a partaker of the glory that shall be revealed. So he's talking to the elders. Remember, Peter's and Khan, Shalom Dixon, all praise to the Most High. Khan, my brother out of W5 Bay Area, man, my brother right there, right? So it says, the elders which are among you I exhort, who am also an elder. So Peter was an elder, okay? Peter not only walked with Yahweh, but he was an elder. So First Peter, Second Peter, we have to take that to heart. All right, we have to take that to heart because Peter was actually an elder. And it says what? Who am also an elder and a witness of the sufferings of Mahashiach. So I want to just get a quick precept on that because let's go to Second Peter chapter 1 and verse number 16, right? It says, for we have not followed cunningly devised fables when we have made known unto you the power and coming of our Lord Yahweh Shah Mahashiach, but were eyewitnesses of his majesty. So Yahweh Shah Slakia, Peter was an eyewitness of Yahweh Shah's majesty. He was an eyewitness. He was literally walking side by side with the Lord. He saw the miracles. You can read about Peter all throughout the Gospels in Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. You can read about Peter. You know what I'm saying? And Peter having conversations with Yahweh Shah. You know, what we always like to talk about with Peter is, Yahweh Shah, he was strict with Peter. He was strict with Peter. With John, he was a little bit different. But with Peter, he would tell him straight up about certain things. Yahweh Shah called Peter stone because he had to be the rock of the church. He had to be hard. So that's why Yahweh Shah was so hard with him, right? For example, in John chapter 21, Yahweh Shah said, hey, Peter, guess what? You're going to die, right? He didn't say it in that way. He said, verily, verily, you know what I'm saying? But cutting to the point, Yahweh Shah literally told Peter that he's going to die for him. He just told him that. And Peter, he was like, okay, but you told me I'm going to die. All right. So what about this man? What about John? What shall this man do? And Yahweh Shah was like, hey, what is that to thee? Why are you asking me that, bro? Right? Why are you asking me that? Right? What is that to thee? If I would that he tarry till I come, what is that to thee? Follow thou me, So again, and I'm gonna pass it to the brother. Peter was an eyewitness to Yahweh Shah. So he didn't follow cunningly devised fables, because you have certain men that came after, right, Peter, or came after Yahweh Shah had already walked the earth and died and rose again, right? And they will say certain things about Yahweh Shah, just like now. Rumors were spread, you know what I'm saying? Or let's say, well, hey, did you know that AHBAYAH, he actually did this, right? They'll say certain things about Yahweh Shah that's not true. They'll say Yahweh Shah, I know a certain person, a certain historian said Yahweh Shah was lame and he was crooked back, like he was walking around like this, like you know that from the movie 300, that dude.
Nah, I
Oh,
haven't
okay,
watched
yeah,
that movie.
okay, come on, hey, brothers gotta get into that thing. Hey, so in that movie, it's like a man. He has like a crook back, and he's like he walks like that, you know. They said Yahweh Shah was like that, bro. Where did Peter say that Yahweh Shah was like that? You know, stuff like that. People just make up stuff about Yahweh Shah. That's a cunningly devised fable. But hey, Peter was like, guess what? I've seen Yahweh Shah face to face, bro. You know, but Khan, you got it, King.
Con. And to really think about it, man, Peter, all the apostles, it was on such a high level because they actually walked with Christ. You never spoken with Christ, man. No
Right,
man in this life
right.
has ever spoken with Christ. So
We know
these
that.
men had to know certain things that we didn't even know about. They saw certain things that we didn't see. So what Peter is saying, what John is saying, is really not them saying that. It's what they was taught by Yahweh, man. We got to take that to heart. We
Right.
gotta read these epistles and apply it as Yahweh starts talking to us, man. I want to get this precept to link up with the brother in Matthew chapter 16 and verse 16. I'm gonna start at verse 14, and it reads, "And they said, Some say that thou art John the Baptist, some Elias, and others Jeremiah or one of the prophets." So you have Yahweh questioning the disciples and stuff like that, asking him, "Whom do people say that I am?" The disciples said, "These people, they say that you might be John the Baptist back on the earth. You may be Elijah back on the earth. You may be Isaiah back on the earth. You may be one of these prophets back on the earth." Right? Verse 15. He said unto them, But whom say ye that I am? And Simon Peter answered and said, Thou art the Christ, the Son of the living God. Because Peter was on such a high level, man. He knew that Yahweh was the anointed, was the Christ, the Messiah, man. He knew who he was. Don't forget, you had certain disciples who were what's called double-minded with Christ. One minute they believed, the next minute it was murmuring against him. Like they back in the first wilderness with Moses. They over here laughing, rejoicing. Then like a few days later, they serving a cow, man. But guess what? Peter and
That
the disciples, it was on such a high level. They knew Christ was Christ. I'm gonna keep going
right.
though. Um, verse 17. And Yahweh shall answer and say unto him, Blessed art thou, Simon Bar-Jonah, for flesh and blood hath not revealed it unto thee, but my Father which is in heaven. Flesh and blood meaning no man told Peter that this is Christ. The Most High himself put it in Peter's spirit to let him know, to uncover the veil of his eyes. This is Yahushua. Right? I'm gonna keep going though. Verse 18. And I say also unto thee that thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. How come he didn't say that to John? What about James? How come
Mm,
Bartholomew, man? Or Nathaniel? Because we
That's
all
right.
have different spirits. We all have different lots. And like the brother went into in First Peter 5 and verse 1, Peter was right next to Yahushua. He saw everything. He was partaker of the suffering of the Yahushua, man. I'm gonna keep going, verse 19. It's to the point in Luke 22 and verse 31 that Peter was going through it so much, and Yahweh had to say, Hey, Simon, Simon, Satan have desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat. But, but I have prayed for thee that thy faith faileth not. And when thou art
Right,
converted, strengthen thy brethren, man. He
right.
didn't say that to John nor James, but he said it to Peter. Because Yahweh was looking for someone strong mentally, physically, spiritually, man.
Yep.
Right? I'm gonna keep going. Verse 19. And I will give unto thee the keys of the kingdom of heaven, and whatsoever thou shalt bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatsoever thou shalt loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. And that's plain upon tables, man. The Lord chose Peter for a certain duty, a certain office. And so the reason why I go there to link up with the brother that Peter was actually walking with Yahweh, and I was meditating that Peter gives me the Michael the Archangel vibes. Because if you think about it, even in the heavens, you have everything reflects from earth unto heaven. The same way you have 12 apostles or something like that. You got angels up there, man. That's on a high ranking level. You have Michael, you have Raphael, you have Gabriel, man. You have the Uriel. You know what I'm saying? But Michael, he was the chiefest of them all. Same thing with Peter. Yeah, you have John. Yeah, you have James. But then you got Peter, who's chiefest of them all. But Khan, you got it.
Khan, that's exactly right, man. That's exactly right. I got a couple precepts to lend me back what the brother is saying. Because in First Peter chapter 5, verse 1, it says, "And a witness of the sufferings of Mahashiach." So like, and I just all right, hold on. I'm gonna get this precept first, right? Let's First Peter. It's like First Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 4, and that he was buried and that he rose again the third day according to the scriptures, and that he was seen of Cephas, then of the 12. So Yahweh Shah was seen of Cephas. So how come? Hey, Paul, he said Cephas and then the 12. Who's Cephas? Right? Cephas is Peter. You know what I'm saying? When you go to Galatians, the first chapter, it's like the second chapter. It's like, let me get that real quick. All right, if I'm not mistaken, Cephas is Peter. You know, this is James. It's like in Galatians chapter 2, verse 9. And when James, Cephas, and John, who seemed to be pillars, right? So Cephas is Peter. So Peter, James, and John. Those are Yahweh Shah's go-tos, man. Those are the three spirits that Yahweh Shah upholds, for real. And out of them, you have Cephas, which is Peter. Peter opposed Yahweh Shah, or it's like Yahweh Shah opposed Peter. Like how the brother brought out, Peter is the rock of the church and the head of the church. So let me go to the book of, and like how AHBAYAH was bringing out, guess what? Nobody has seen Yahweh Shah, man. Brothers think they high and mighty, right? Khan, Shalom, Barzia Judah, man. Khan, Shalom, Yahweh Shanel Shabrakatah, right? Khan, all praises, man. And Khan, the brother says Cephas means stone. So, man, Khan, see that? Now I know Peter goes back to the Greek word Petros, which means stone, right? Or like stone or rock. So, Peter, hey, he was a rock. He was a rock. He was hard, man. Peter was literally ready to take the kingdom, man. Literally take it. Cut off the servant's ear. Where you taking my Lord, bro? Hey, when he saw Yahweh Shah being taken away, he was like, or no, Slaki. Before that, Peter was like, Lord, whither wilt thou go? And Peter, John was like, or Slaki. Peter literally said, whether you go, I'm gonna go too, man. Yeah, I would die for you. That's what Peter was saying. He was speaking boldly. And Yahweh Shah was like, look, I tell you, right? I tell you right now, to the cock crow, thou shalt deny me thrice. But Peter's like, nah, I'm not having that. Hey, how much you want to bet that's not going to happen? I'm not going to deny you, Peter. And Peter, you know what I'm saying? We already know that account. But Khan, Shalom, Judah Maya as well. Shalom, Mighty God. But it's like, I'm going to get this precept. This is the book of Luke, chapter 24 and verse 31. And their eyes were open. It's like, I'm going to start at verse 30. And it came to pass as he sat at meat with them, he took bread and blessed it and brake and gave it to them. So who was actually Slaki? Who right here on this live did Yahweh Shah actually feed you physically? AHBAYAH, did you sit down with Yahweh Shah and eat? Did you guys go to did you guys go somewhere like a fast food restaurant or a 5-star restaurant? Sat down and eat buffet? Did you or did any of the Akim, mighty Akim that's watching right now, did any of you guys, because I don't know, maybe Yahweh Shah appeared onto you. Maybe some of the Akim, are mighty on the earth. So the Lord actually had to visit them. Did the Lord come down to you and actually sup with you, like physically? Maybe spiritually, but I'm talking about physically. Like, so Peter actually was with Yahweh Shah though. Like how that's how Jake is, But did you see him though? I was with him. I was his day one. Peter would say, I'm his day one. was you there from the start? Right. So, that's how Jake is, right? It says what? Verse 31. And their eyes were opened, and they knew him, and he vanished out of their sight. And they said one unto another, did not our heart burn within us while he talked with us by the way, and while he opened to us the scriptures? You see that? And Khan, the brother said, right? And Sirach 15:3, come with the bread of understanding shall she feed him, giving the water of wisdom to drink. That's what Yahweh Shah is doing to us right now, But it's on a spiritual level. Peter was on a physical. We would kill to see Yahweh Shah, man. We will kill to see Yahweh in his might, in his glory, you know, well, of course, you know, and getting crucified, we don't want to see that, but at the same time, it will boost it will, you know, speaking as a man, it will boost our faith, you know, just seeing Yahweh, you know, literally, you know, partaking in sufferings. But Salaki, it says, while he talked to us with us by the way, and while he opened to us the scriptures. So Yahweh was literally breaking it down, bruh. Opening the precepts. See, no, that's not what it's going into, right? What sayest thou, Peter? No, that's not what it's going to, right? Let me show you. Let me give you the understanding, right? Give me the book. Yahweh was breaking it down, bruh. Parables. Peter's like, Lord, dost thou speak this to us, or speak it to all? In the book of Luke chapter 12. And Yahweh, he didn't even respond to Peter. He just said, who then is that wise servant? So, hey, that's how Yahweh gets down, bro. Just completely ignores your question and just keeps teaching, right? that's how the Lord gets down. But the point is, 1 Peter chapter 5, verse 1, Peter was really there with Yahweh, man. Because you have a lot of people that came before who wasn't really with Yahweh. They was teaching in the name of Yahweh and believed in him, right? Like how it says in 1 Peter chapter 1 and verse number 8, it says, whom have you not seen, ye love. So there's people that have not seen Yahweh yet still believes in him. And even in the book of John chapter 20, right, we know that Yahweh gives a shout out to everybody that believes in him yet has not seen him in the flesh. And he got on Thomas for that, saying, Thomas, because thou hast seen me, thou hast believed. Blessed are they that have not seen and yet has still believed. You know, so there's plenty of people that have still believed and still going hard for Yahweh, even though they weren't physically sitting with him. But we know that Peter was really with Yahweh in the flesh, so we ought to take heed to his saints, right? Bakan, you got it, King. You got it.
That's it. Khan, Sluggy, that's it.
Oh, Khan. All right, Khan. Yeah, we can keep going on that.
Khan, 1 Peter chapter 5 and verse 2. Feed the flock of God, which is among you, taking the oversight thereof, not by constraint, but willingly, not for filthy lucre, but of a ready mind.
Right, so we have to feed the flock of the Most High. We have to feed the flock of the Most High, right? And he's not just saying that just to brothers that have been in the truth for 40 years. You can only feed the flock if you're in the truth for 40 years. If it's 39 years, you got to wait one more year to feed the flock. You got to wait one more year. You have to be in the truth for X amount. No, the Lord didn't say that. But the Lord said, guess what? When it's the time to become when it's time to become a teacher, yeah, need that one teacher again. And when you're taught again, then you can become a teacher, right? The Lord said, a servant of the Lord must not strive, but be gentle unto all men, apt to teach, patient. So when you think, and perceive that, okay, I might be able to be, I'm apt to teach, I know what that's going into. You ask me questions, I know how to answer it, right? 1 Peter 3 and 15, right? Et cetera, et cetera. In your teaching, the Lord said, go ahead and feed the flock, right? I got one quick precept on that. And just like how the mighty brother Bible was saying, guess what? Peter's not getting his teachings from nobody, just nobody. He's teaching based on what he was taught by Yahweh, right? So this is the book of John, chapter 21, and verse. I'm gonna just read it quickly and then pass it. John 21 and 15. So when they had dined, Yahweh saith to Simon Peter, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me more than these? He saith unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He saith unto him, Feed my lambs. So feed my lambs. Remember, that's not physically, right? I'm gonna keep reading. He saith to him again the second time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? He saith unto him, Yea, Lord, thou knowest that I love thee. He saith unto him, Feed my sheep. He said unto him the third time, Simon, son of Jonas, lovest thou me? Peter was grieved because he had said unto him, it's like the third time, lovest thou me? And he said unto him, Lord, thou knowest all things, thou knowest that I love thee. Yahweh saith unto him, Feed my sheep. So Yahweh said that 3 times, and we know that 3 is the number of completion, right? So Yahweh had to drill that in Peter's head. Guess what? If you love me, you're going to feed my sheep. And that's not talking about physically, right? That is not talking about physically. That's talking about spiritually, right? Spiritually. Now, who is the spiritual sheep? Who is called the lost sheep of the house of Israel? Oh, Israel. Who is called the lost sheep? It's always referring to Israel. You have so many precepts on that. Jeremiah 50:6, Matthew 10:6, Matthew chapter 15, verse 24, etc., right? So the sheep is talking about Israel. Feed Israel. Feed them this wisdom, knowledge, understanding, just like how I've been feeding you. That's what the Lord is saying. But Khan, you got it, King.
That's a cut to myself, to whoever watching this, can be a cut to you, because we can go harder than what we're going through, what we're doing right now, man. We can definitely go harder to feed the flock, because
Yeah,
a sheep can't feed itself, man. They need that shepherd. Without the shepherd, they have no protection. They have no protection from the heat. They have no protection from the cold. They have no protection, Slovakia, from wolves, man. They can't provide their own meat. They need that shepherd to take care of them. That's why the Lord set up certain men to feed the sheep, man, to feed the flock. I want to get this
right.
preacher. This book of Psalm, chapter 78 and verse 70, and it reads, He chose David also, his servant, and took him from the sheepfolds. From following the ewes, great with young, he brought him to feed Jacob his people, and Israel and his inheritance. So it's spiritual. David was a literal shepherd. He was a literal shepherd. He was amongst the sheep, taking care of them. You can read about that in First Samuel, I believe, chapter 17 or chapter 16 and chapter 17, right? On a literal level. Then on a spiritual level, guess what? He was teaching judgments. He was teaching the nation of Israel, man. And we're the sheep, man. So he was a physical shepherd and a spiritual shepherd. I'm gonna read it again. Psalm 78 and verse 71. From following the ewes, great with young, he brought him to feed Jacob his people, and Israel his inheritance. So he fed them according to the integrity of his heart, and guided them by the skillfulness of his hands. And that's the same thing we have to apply. We have to guide the people in the right path. We have to do everything in a skillful manner to bring the sheep back into the fold, man. We can't let grievous wolves get to the sheep. That's why you have people debating doctrine so the truth can stand. You have people in the highways and byways trying to bring in the lost sheep of the house of Israel. We're not. I don't know about you. I'm not out there for the so-called white man, the Chinese man. If I see a so-called white man or Chinese man pass by, I'm not. I don't care about him. You know. The Lord knows the heart. I want the sheep, man. It's very satisfying to be able to be used as a clean vessel to teach the sheep. It's very satisfying. Hey, you go home with a big smile on your face, like the Kool-Aid man. Like you the Kool-Aid man with that big smile.
Right, right,
Right,
right,
right. And it's sad, when you don't get sheep properly. You might be a drought at camp.
right.
There's no sheep. You just prophesying to the wind. You trying to look around. You prophesying. You look around, and there's no sheep, man. You trying to pray in your head while prophesying. You look body, but on the inside, man, you really want some sheep, man. You really want some sheep.
Right, right, right.
A spirit to love the sheep, to take care of the sheep, because we're shepherds, man. We're teachers. Let me get this precept real quick. Matthew chapter 9 and verse 36, and it reads, But when he saw the multitudes, he was moved with compassion on them, because they fainted and were scattered abroad as sheep have no shepherd. So even Yahushua, he looked upon the people who followed him, and he had that sorrow in his heart. Then he had compassion upon them, because he said, "Dang, man, these people have no leader. They have no shepherd. Is Martin Luther King our leader, man? You see, that's God. It's
Yes.
man.
God,
Hey,
God, you gotta
the
get
life
yeah.
is shepherd, you know. But God, but is Martin Luther King our king or our shepherd? No, man. Is Malcolm X our shepherd? No. Is Beyonce? That's off. Jay-Z. We have no shepherd. We have no leader. But us
Obama.
coming to knowledge that Yahushua, he said what?
I was like Obama.
Oh,
That's
but that's off.
that's all.
African man that don't care about
Right.
right. And that's the thing. They can say they're shepherds or leaders, but guess what? Those are wolves in sheep clothing, man. You
Uh,
see that? They
uh,
act like they're a shepherd. They act like they're just like you, but whole time they're wolves, predators trying to prey on the sheep. And Yahushua, he's that true shepherd, a sincere shepherd that loves the flock, that always feeding them, man, who doesn't care about himself but care about the flock. I'm gonna read this one more time. Matthew chapter 9 and verse 36. But when he saw the multitudes, he was moved with compassion on them, because they fainted and were scattered abroad as sheep having no shepherd, man. Even Yahushua saw that, man. Like, Yahushua was really on a mission. Verse 37. Then saith he unto his disciples, the harvest is truly plenteous, but the laborers are few. So you have a lot of people in the field, man. The field is the world. You have a lot of Israelites in the world that needs to be woken up. But that's a lot of work right there, man. Don't you know that you have the elect in Africa? You have the elect in Europe. You might have the elect in Australia, man. You might have the elect right now in the middle of the ocean, getting tossed to and fro with waves, and he just end up on a remote island by himself or something like that. Then guess what? Somehow the Lord raised up a prophet on that island, sick in the hand. There's only 10 on the island, he's sick in the hand, and wake up the elect, man. And then the whole world ends. You see that? So the Lord, we need, well, I don't want to say the Lord, but the Lord raising up more laborers in these last days to attend to the harvest. A lot of work has to be done to the vineyard, man. According to Isaiah 5 and verse 7, the vineyard Israel. Uh, Verse 38, pray ye therefore the Lord of the harvest that he will send forth laborers into his harvest. And Lord willing, more people get hired to do the work. One penny, man. Lord willing, get that one penny at the end of the day. Brothers have ears to hear. They get hired to put that work in. But
Man, that's beautiful, man. Beautiful breakdown, man. Because like how the brother said, and that's a good precept too. The Brazia put out Acts chapter 20, verse 28. It says that Slakia, take heed therefore unto yourselves, Slakia, and to all the flock. So the Lord said, take heed to yourself and to the flock, right? It says, over the which the Holy Spirit had made you overseers. So if you're in this truth and you have a certain amount of might in your spirit, and the Lord gave you, a certain type of knowledge, guess what? The knowledge you have, people in the world, they don't have that. You know what I'm saying? They don't have your spirit. They don't have your knowledge or your wisdom that you acquired through the spirit, right? It says what? That's why you have to what? To feed the church of the Most High, which he had purchased with his own blood. So you have to feed the church of the Most High with your knowledge, with your wisdom that the Lord gave you. It's basically like the Lord giving you the food and you got to distribute it. The Lord, here he is. The Lord, he's giving you the milk. He's giving you the bread. He's giving you the honey. He's giving you the wine, the meat, the bread. If I already said that, he's giving you the food and you have to be the one to distribute it to the people. There has to be someone to cook the food, and there has to be someone there to distribute it, to serve it, right? Because we're servants of the people. Lord said, let the greatest among you be your servant. So if you are in this truth and you have certain type of knowledge, the more knowledge you have, the more you have to be a servant to the people, man. The more you have to do videos, more teaching you have to do. There's more, calling brothers up, seeing how they are type thing. If you feel yourself as you increasing mightily through the spirit, guess what? You have to be more of a servant, man. And Khan Shalom, Brakatah. Brakatah Masai, Khan Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Hey, we got all mighty brothers on here, man. All praises. Right. So it's lucky. I got a quick precept, like how to going on with the brother saying, right? Because you don't want to just
that's like, I was saying, kind of all your brothers supporting, man. That's fire.
Yeah, Con. Hey, that's all praise in the Most High. Hey, it's W5. No, I was playing. See, that brother's gonna start getting No, I was playing. We all brothers up here, man. But Con, it's like I just want to make a quick point. You have certain brothers they just had a bad day at work, so they just go out to camp because they want to get on Esau. Where's Esau at? Here you are, you talking to an Edomite. Oh, the sheep is walking by, brother. What are you doing, man? The sheep is walking by, tons of sheep, and you just want to get on Esau. Esau, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to put you in slavery. Esau this, Esau that. Why you just keep talking to Esau, bro? Or you want to talk to the nations all the time, right? Bro, what the hell? Like, look, hey, you have the sheep. The sheep is most important. Yes, we said it. The sheep is most important. If you're a so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American, we're going to see and we're going to perceive and talk to you first than any other heathen. Because the Lord said we're going to prophesy against many nations, but at the same time, we want to feed our sheep. Because before this nation can be brought down, guess what? Our nation needs to be brought up first. That's first and foremost. So with that in mind, right? With that in mind, Slack, let me get this quick preset. right? We have to feed the sheep, all right? Feed the sheep of the Most High. And that's not talking about like, okay, right? You see our people walking by, okay, open your mouth, right? That's not what it's going into, right? Right? Feeding the Most High, like how the brother's been going into, is teaching them with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. This is the book of John, chapter 4, and verse 35. It says, "Say not ye, there are yet 4 months, and then cometh harvest. Behold, I say unto you, lift up your eyes and look on the fields, for they are white already to harvest." So the Lord said, don't say, okay, it's 4 months, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the work. The Lord said, look, right now, you have all these people out here, and they need your help. They're starving. They need to be fed. So we need to do immediately, like how the Lord said, just do the work immediately. Don't say yet there's going to be 4 months. Okay, in 4 months, I'm going to go out there and teach. Brother, you have notebooks upon notebooks. You have like 10 of these at your house. Brother, you have knowledge. Go ahead and teach. Right? So you got it, King.
I'm looking for that precept. It's called I have not labored for myself or something like that. For those who seek learning.
Oh, John, that's I believe that's Sirach 32 or 33. I know there's two. There's two of them.
Right.
It's like, oh, so lucky. Oh yeah, Sirach 33 and 17.
Okay, Khan. The water Malak.
Khan. Oh, praise.
Sirach chapter 33 and verse 17, and it reads, "Consider that I labored not for myself only, but for all them that seek learning." You know what I'm saying? That's how we gotta be. You got, like the brother said, you got 7 books on one side, you got 10 more books on the other side of the room. You studying, you sweating, you got sweat dripping down. Your whole meat is wet, and then it's still dripping down to your clothes because all the studying you putting in. But you only studying for yourself, man. No, when you study, you gotta study
Yeah,
for the people. You know what I'm saying? You gotta study to answer. You know what I'm saying? Don't just study to be the wisest man ever. But you're not trying to put nobody on. And they call you names in the world if you know how to do certain things. You're not trying to put nobody on. You know, they call you certain names in the world, huh? You're trying to put nobody on to success. To success, you're trying to keep it all to yourself. That's that's stingy, huh? You being selfish, you stingy, and that's off. The Lord
right.
gave it freely. You didn't ask for it. The Lord gave it to you, man. Same thing with these people, man. You got to give it to them freely. You don't want to be like this. Let me get this precept real quick.
Like
Slock.
you just right. It's like I was just making a cool point. You're walking around, you're trying to be the mightiest, smartest brother. And like, you want this breakdown? I don't know. I don't know if I should give it to you. It's exclusive. VIP breakdown. You know, it's madness, bro.
That's off.
It's
Let me see. You trying to examine the brother? You're not worthy. You're
right,
not
you're not
worthy. You're not
ready.
worthy. Daniel 7. Who said that? That's off, man. And that's the elect. You telling the elect he's not worthy for the Daniel chapter 7 breakdown, and you broke it down all wrong. You know. But this is the book of
Right.
Acts, chapter 8 and verse 9, and it reads, "But there was a certain man called Simon, which before time in the same city used sorcery and bewitched the people of Samaria, giving out that himself was some great one, to whom they all gave heed from the least to the greatest, saying, This man is the great power of God. And to him they had regard, because that of long time he had bewitched them with sorcery." So this man was on a very high level on the left hand side, a magician, a sorcerer, and these people looked at him like a powerful god, so called. Man, I'm gonna keep going though. Verse 12. "But when they believed Philip, preaching the things concerning the kingdom of God, in the name of Yahweh Shah, they were baptized, both men and women." And we can learn something from right here. Philip was out there preaching about the kingdom of heaven. He wasn't holding those things he meditated about. He wasn't holding those things that the Lord taught him to himself. He was out there for the people as a shepherd. Now, when Philip was doing this, he was basically stealing, for lack of better terms, his what's his people he was stealing his I don't want to say product, the people who give him money. Basically, he was stealing his people, he was stealing his crowd, and now he has no way to make money off these people no more because Philip stole them away from him. I'm gonna jump down though to get straight to the point though. Verse 18, Acts chapter 8 and verse 18. And when Simon saw that through laying on of the apostles' hands the Holy Ghost was given, he offered them money, saying, Give me also this power, that on whomsoever I lay hands, he may receive the Holy Ghost. But Peter said to him, Thy money perish with thee, because thou hast thought that the gift of God may be purchased with money. So you can't buy the gift of the Most High God, the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding with money, man. You have to be doing things in truth and sincerity in this thing, man. Whether you're giving it out, you shouldn't be asking people, "Give me $5 and I'll teach you who you are." That's off, man. The Lord gave it to you freely. You know what I'm saying? Verse 21: Thou hast neither part nor a lot in this matter, but it's the point. For thy heart is not right in the sight of God. You see that? So certain things won't be given to you, because, like it says in James, you ask amiss and want to consume it upon your own lust. Paraphrase. The Lord don't give you certain things because your heart is not right. So certain people, they want to get the deep breakdowns. They want this, that, and the third. And they don't want to teach the people about who they are. Their heart's not right in them, and the Lord's going to destroy them because they're starving out the flock.
Khan, that's right. That's right. And we should be wanting to teach our people, because even in that same verse in 1 Peter 5 and 2, it says, Feed the flock of the Most High, which is among you, taking the oversight thereof. Okay, meaning watching over them. Oversight, right? We're watching over them, because we're watching over our people. You know what I'm saying? And not even, let's say you even have, a certain status, or let's say you were or a certain status even within a body or congregation, or just among certain people. Like, remember, the Lord has given different offices to different people, right? So not everybody's cut out to be a teacher. We understand that. Not everybody's cut out to be an apostle or a prophet. We understand that as well. That's scripture, right? But at the same time, if you are endowed more wisdom than the next brother, hey, that's just, that's not something to glory in. It's just something that you have to take into account. Like this brother, who's going to have more wisdom, or experience and knowledge, and understanding. Let's just be real. Someone that's been in the truth 10 years, and generally, right? It's not always the case, but generally, someone that's been in the truth for 10 years, right, and has read the Bible maybe twice upon end, and has studied it, and has studied, hours upon end, versus the a man that came into the truth, for a year. Probably that brother that's been in the truth for 10 years, right? So it's not that, okay, brother, shut up, shut up, sit down. I've been in the truth 9 more years than you. Sit down. You don't know what the hell's going on. Nah, so it's just that if that brother has questions, guess what? He can answer them. Most likely. Should be able to answer them. You know what I'm saying? Because he's been more studying. He's been studying more. So it's just that fact that if you have more wisdom than the next brother, guess what? Distribute that wisdom. The Lord said you have to show thy wisdom by her beauty. So let me get that precept real quick. This is the book of Sirach chapter 4. This is the book of Sirach chapter 4 and verse 23. And refrain not to speak when there is occasion to do good. So the Lord said, refrain not to speak when there is occasion to do good. When is an occasion to do good? Especially at camp. You see the sheep walking by, and you want to try to pull them in to teach them. The Lord said, refrain not to speak when there's an occasion to do good. You might be teaching somebody at a wing stop. I know a brother that does that. Teaches like if a brother comes in, he's, hey, guess what? We eating, but he's teaching. You know what I'm saying? And that's all. That's mighty. It says, when there is occasion to do good, and hide not thy wisdom in her beauty. So the Lord said, don't hide wisdom, your wisdom in her beauty. Your wisdom is beautiful that the Lord gave you. You want to show it off. Just like how you might have a new remember, Akim or sisters, that we don't just buy, you know what I'm saying? We don't buy or not expensive, but showy stuff for no reason, just to wear it in the house. You know what I'm saying? Why you buying a lion necklace? You buying a lion necklace that costs $50, and it shines bright. It's gold, right? And just to wear it in the house. You're not just going to wear it in the house. And when you go outside, you're just tucking it in, right? Just tucking it in. I don't really want to show it. You bought that necklace or whatever, that ornament, that jewelry, to show it off, right? To go open in the in the world and to show it. So the same reason or the same way for us, the Lord said, feed the flock of the Most High. Distribute that wisdom that the Lord gave you and show it off because it's beautiful, right? It's nothing to be ashamed of, right? Verse number 24, for by speech wisdom shall be known, and learning by the word of the tongue. So that's how wisdom is going to be acquired, by speech. You understand? Speech. How did we learn this wisdom? Somebody had to tell us. We didn't just wake up one day, oh my God, Deuteronomy 28:68, the curses, where Israel? I can't believe it. Hey, did you wake up to the truth like that? You wake up to the truth like that? Nah, somebody had to tell us, like, hey, brother, you know you Israelite? Wait, I'm a what? Say that one time. I'm a what? I'm an Israelite. What's that? And then you were curious about it. Or you might have watched the video. On the video, were they just showing pictures? Oh my God, slavery. Nah, somebody was breaking it down to you. Let's be real. So the same way, how is somebody going to know? You know what I'm saying? When I look at the sheep, like how you brought that precept out, right? Matthew 9, right? You brought that precept in Matthew 9. It said in verse 36, right? It said that the Lord had compassion on the sheep, right? He saw him and had compassion on him, right? When I see the sheep personally, it's like, that was literally me. You know what I'm saying? That was literally me 4 years ago. I was just regular Jake in the world. That was literally me. So if somebody didn't tell me nothing, I would still be that, right? So that's why you got to put yourself in their shoes. We have compassion on the sheep. That's why we don't want the sheep to go. Like when the sheep, like, oh, I got somewhere to go, Playboy. I got some, I got it, this, that, and the third. We don't want them to go because it's like we were in that same situation, right? So we want them to know this wasn't like how we know it, right? That goes into a lot of different precepts. But Khan, but Khan, you got it, King.
Khan, yeah, that's it. I know there's a precept that's better is a fool that hideth his folly than a man that hideth his wisdom, paraphrasing, man.
Khan,
So you
that's
hide it. You said what?
Oh, it's like you said what? I can get it for you if you want.
Khan, it's in Proverbs, right?
It's in Sirach.
Okay, Khan.
Khan, it's Sirach chapter 20, verse 30 through 31. I can read it for you if you want.
Khan, you got it. You can break it down too, King.
Okay, Khan. And brothers is bringing good precepts on the chat as well. Khan. Right? Isaiah 55:1, Khan. Ho, everyone that thirsted, come ye to the waters. Khan, that's a good precept as well. And he that have no money, come ye buy and eat. Yea, come buy wine and milk without money and without price. That's how you know it's not talking about literally, wine and milk, because how do you buy this truth? By actually wanting to learn it. We was taught wisdom, we was taught this truth, but we had to actually dig down and search it out for ourselves at a point in time. 2 Thessalonians 3:1, finally, brethren, pray for us that a word of the Lord may have free course and be glorified even as it is with you. That's right. So it can go smoothly. Sirach 32:4. Pour not out thy words when there is a musician, and show not forth wisdom out of time. Right? You're not showing wisdom out of time. You're trying to break down Daniel 7 at a feast day, brother. All right, man. That's all he wants to talk about, brother. What kingdom is this? Going into a whole argument, brother. What kingdom is this? Why are you even here, brother? You don't even know what kingdom this is. Hey, give me the book. And he started, brother. What are you talking about? Right? And it's like Sirach 32:9. If thou be among men, right? Make not thyself equal with them, and when ancient men are in place, use not many words. That's right. Because like I'm gonna put our precept real quick. Sirach chapter 20, verse 30. Wisdom that is hid and treasure that is hoarded up. What profit is in them both? Better is he that hideth his folly than a man that hideth his wisdom. So you're better if you hide your folly than if you hide your wisdom. All right. So you don't want to hide your wisdom. That's the point. Wisdom that you have that's hoarded up. What profit is it? Not just like how the brother was saying. You just don't want to walk around being a smart person all the time. But you got it, King.
Just touch on that precept too. You know what I'm saying? Like your brother said, you don't want to hold in all that wisdom. You know who you are. You know how to get salvation. You know what pleases the Most High God. But you're not trying to put nobody on with that. And the Lord said, "You're worse than a fool that had his folly, man." You know. So we all have to do better on going out there and teaching people, whether it be by doing videos, flyers, actually going out to the camp and teaching. Even when you at the store, if someone seems interested in your fringes or something like that, hey man, put them on game. But we can go back to Osalaki.
Con, that's right. That's right. All praises. That's mighty. But yeah, Con, we're going back to that. Con.
First Peter chapter 5 and verse 3. Neither as being lords over God's heritage, but
Yeah.
temples to the flock.
It's like read that precept one more time.
First Peter chapter 5 and verse 3.
Oh, Slaki. One more quick point of that precept. Slaki, just quick. It says, not by constraint, but willingly, not for filthy lucre, but of a ready mind. So you don't want to feed the flock like by constraint. Like, brother is pulling you to teach. You know what I'm saying? Brother, you haven't taught in 3 months. It's like, nah, y'all got it, man. Y'all got it, man. Brother, go ahead, man. You haven't made a video. Brother, go teach, man. It's not like you can't break it down. You've been breaking it down. Y'all got it, man. The Lord said, not by constraint, but willingly. Well, I'm only doing this because AHBAYAH told me to. So that's why, I'm only, brother, you should be like, all right, who teach next? Who teach next? AHBAYAH, you get in there? Or I thought it was me next. Right? I thought, you want to get in there, right? It says, but willingly, not for filthy lucre, but of a ready mind. And it's not for money, right? That's where you pastors going off at, because you will only teach if it was for money. If the money is not coming, you're not doing nothing. You're not teaching, all right? You're not going to the church, bro. You're not going to the church if there's no money involved, right? And even, what I'm saying, even if this precept, is not really essentially going into the women. And guess what? Women, hey, they can teach other women too, because we know that that's in Titus. The Lord said that the women can teach other women how to, be holy and how to conduct themselves. Because in 1 Corinthians chapter 7, we know that the women, right, have to learn to be holy both in body and in spirit, right? So we understand that too. Women can teach other women, right? So and right, the brother said, Ike, I'll be watching the clock. That's right, man. Burning up to teach. I need to fiending, scratching. But you got it.
That's all, King.
All right, all right, you got it. Yeah, we can keep going. Oh, it's lucky. Let's read verse 3 real quick.
First Peter chapter 5 and verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
Lords over God's heritage, but being examples to the flock.
Right. So we can't be lords over God's heritage. So but an example, right? So leading as an example, not being a lord. So even if you, let's say, had a certain status in the church, right, or congregation, you telling the brother, because you might have more wisdom and knowledge because over him, right? You have more wisdom and knowledge over him. And this for the men, real quick, you have more wisdom and knowledge over a certain brother that is new to the truth. So you telling him, hey, brother, go over there and sit down somewhere, bro. Right? Don't come over here. We talking about high things over here. You can't perceive it. Oh, you just 1 year in the truth? Huh. All right. Well, go sit down over there somewhere, bro. Right? Don't even come nigh onto us. Brother, what are you talking about, man? Because in 1 Peter chapter 5, it says, don't be lords over God's heritage. Like how these heathen are, but an example of the flock. You telling brothers, brother, you have to be on time for camp. And you come in 3 hours late, bro. Talk about, well, guess what? I'm the head of camp, so shut up. Right? I'm your officer, so shut up. Nah, if you're the officer, you got to be damn 10 minutes early, bro. You have to be an hour early. You have to be there first. You got to try to, stuff like that. Just because you're the officer or you a soldier over this brother or someone with more wisdom, you the wisest brother at the camp or something like that, or you wiser than this sister, or your sister, you wiser than this sister. That means you have more privileges. That's how these people in the world get down, bro. I'm talking about, like, my supervisor, she missed three days of work. did not get written up. She's still here. I don't know how my supervisor is still working, bro. She should be fired. All caps, fired, out of here. But she's still here. Got more hours than me. How? I don't know what the hell is going on. Literally. And she only have a 0.25 more. She only makes 25 more cents than me, bro. That's it. 25 more cents. And she thinks she's somebody. Coming in late every day. She comes in late. Managers don't say shit. That's how these heathen get down, bro. In the world. But in the truth, it's not so. That kind of stuff angers me, bro. Because if you were the manager, you should be there on time. Not you coming in 3 hours later to the shift. Like, where the hell the manager at? You know what I'm saying? So it's like we had to lead as an example. We had to be the ones that's on time. We had to be the ones that's leading as an example. Actually living how we teach, and that's for women and men. Living as that example. You know, if you're a sister, you want to dress modest, right? And you want to lead. It's like you lead other sisters by what? Being that example. Sisters should look at you and be like, okay, that's how I should conduct myself because she's conducting herself in a modest manner. She's like moving like Esther. She's moving like Judith. She's moving like Sarah. She's calling her husband Lord. If she has a husband, she is submissive. She's shamefaced. She should move as that example. So Khan, you got it, King.
Yeah, you don't want to be that man who want to lord over the sheep, doing things insincere. You just want that title. You know what I'm saying? You got leaders. It's not by title, man. It's by your actions, by your will. By your drive. A leader is leading. A boss is telling you what to do. Hey, do this, do that. But he's a hypocrite. He's not doing it. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I'm gonna get this preacher real quick in 3rd John. There's only one chapter. 3rd John, verse 9, and it reads, I wrote unto the church by Diotrephes, who loveth to have the preeminence among them, receiveth us not. So this man Diotrephes, he loved to have the preeminence. He's that man. He loves to have compliments. He loves to be in power. He want to be the head nigga in charge, man. He just loves it. He loves when people look up to him. He loves when people acknowledge him. He just can't be that guy who's quiet in the corner. No one really knows about him. He don't want to be that guy. He wants to be well known by everybody and have power over them. And they call it power hungry. You know what I'm saying? They
Right.
power.
That's
And when
Jake.
you power hungry, you say what?
Oh, Sly, I was just saying that's Jake. But Khan,
Yeah,
you
when you power hungry, you're willing to do anything. Hey, look at Joab. He was power hungry.
right.
He killed Amasa, man, the captain, the host. That's off, man. Yeah, Absalom, he was power hungry, trying to overturn his whole household, his dad household against him, man.
Right.
That's off. But guess what? You see what happens when you power hungry and you want to do what you want to do. Absalom, he did that. He fell. Joab, he did that. He fell, man. You got to go ahead.
But I just got a quick preset to what you saying too. It's a lot. And then you got 1 Kings chapter 1 verse 5. Then Adonijah the son of Haggith exalted himself, saying, "I will be king," and he prepared him chariots and horsemen and 50 men to run before him. So that's and we already know that account Adonijah. But that's another one.
I forgot about that one. That's a fire account right there. Guess who's at his seat? Joab. Joab was wicked. Joab was right next to him, man. Because Joab was powerful, man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The Lord took him down. But humble, who is meek, that the Lord raised them up to be lords over the sheep, man. You know what I'm saying? David didn't ask for that a lot. He just was really sincere. Peter didn't ask for that a lot. He just had that urge and that spirit to serve the Most High God. But guess what? The Lord set them over this flock. You know what I'm saying? And an overseer is just a bishop. So you have to be, if you're a bishop in this thing, you gotta be sincere in this thing, man. You can't be lording people around. Go over there and hold posts. You do this, and you always lead the camp. You don't want to read, don't want to teach. You fumble the precepts. Even tells you that when they came to David, they told David, "You're the one who led us out into battle." They didn't say Saul did. They said David was the one that led them out into battle, man. So that title of you being king, that title of you being captain, officer, that don't mean crap to the Most High God. It's by your actions, man. Because it look like it says in 1 Samuel 2 and 3, by your actions are weighed. You know what I'm saying? Paraphrasing.
Right, yeah. Con.
There's a 3 John chapter 2 and verse 9 again. I wrote unto the church by Diotrephes, who loveth to have the preeminence among them, receiveth us not. Wherefore, if I come, I will remember his deeds which he doeth, prating against us with malicious words, and not that's off, and not content therewith. But notice how it said, and not content therewith, always wanting more, always wanting this, that, and the third, like Joab. He was never content. And not content therewith, neither doth he himself receive the brethren, and forbiddeth them that would, and casteth them out of the church. Man, that's off. Sound like a Pharisee. The Pharisee, man, when you read about in John chapter 9, I believe it's the whole chapter 9, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think it is. It may be chapter 10. No, I think it's chapter 9. It may be chapter 10. But basically, hey, the man who was born blind, the Lord healed him. And guess what? He believed in the Lord and stuff like that. He got casted out the church. You know what I'm saying? So those are wolves. Those are people who is not sincere. Because if they were sincere, they will follow the Lord and do everything the Lord was doing. The Pharisees wasn't doing that. The Sadducees wasn't doing that. The Herodians wasn't doing that. That's why the Lord's not dealing with them, man. But
Yeah, Con, exactly, man. Those are all good points. Because whenever we read about men exalting themselves, they become abased. You know what I'm saying? Adonijah, he wanted to be king, and he did everything he could to be king. And even when you read the account in First Kings, he came to he tried to devise a plan, right, to make himself king by getting Abishag. Abishag. He asked Bathsheba if she could ask Solomon to have Abishag as wife, and Solomon was like, "See, that's why I gotta kill you. That's why I gotta kill you." You see that? Because he tried to take the kingdom away. So that's why, hey, like how the brothers beautifully going into, man. We don't want to be lords over God's heritage, and we know that King David is a perfect example of that. King David wasn't a lord over the Most High's heritage, meaning the flock. He wasn't a lord over it. Because let me get this precept real quick, right? When you read 1st and 2nd Samuel, see how David was moving, see how David was like conducting himself as a king. He never once flexed his power and said, "Who are you talking to? I'm the king. You do as I say." Everybody respected and loved David. He didn't even had to be a lord. You know what I'm saying? Like that. He was beloved of the people, right? So let's go to 2nd Samuel chapter 23. And it was because of his spirit was he beloved, and his actions of what he did and how he led the people. See, if you're always being a lord over God's heritage, they're not going to love you. They're not going to love you because you're always that person that tells them what to do. Okay, well, here goes the king. All right. He's just going to tell us what to do all the time. I guess we have to bow to him. No, people, they bowed to David because, first of all, they respected him, and they loved him. And anything that David would say to do, they would do it because, first of all, they loved him because he was that example, right? David was really that example. The people, the mighty man of valor looked up to David. They really looked up to David because David was a mighty man himself, right? We can see the love that Joab had for David, the love that Abishai Slaki. Is that how you say it?
Abishai,
Abishai Khan. Yeah, Khan, Abishai the water. Joab's brother, how he loved David as well. He even told David, you can't come out to war with us. Lest you cast out or Slakia, that lest the light of Israel is put out. Slakia, I'm kind of roughly paraphrasing, right? So, they care for David. So let's go to 2nd Samuel chapter 23, verse 2. It says, "The spirit of the Lord spake by me, and his word was in my tongue. The God of Israel said, the rock of Israel spake to me. He that ruleth over men must be just." You see that? So whoever rules over men must be just. They must be following the laws, statutes, and commandments, because then you'll know how to lead as an example and not as a Lord. He that ruleth over men must be just, ruling in the fear of the Most High. So we have to rule in the fear of the Most High, understanding that, okay, we have one master, which is in heaven, all right? And then they're not essentially serving us, but serving the Most High God. But Khan, you got it, King.
That's fire. Appreciate him. That's all I had, though, King.
All praises. And real quick, the brother, I know he pulled a quick precept as well. Con, Matthew chapter 18 verse 4. Con, whosoever therefore shall humble himself as his little child, the same is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven. Exactly. And we even see how the people told David what to do. Sometimes the people told David, or David, you should stay over here. We shall we shall go out to war, but you got to stay here. That's what the people said to David. And David said, whatever you say to me, I'm going to do that. David didn't say, what the hell? Shut your ass up, boy. I'm the king. I'm gonna do what the hell I'm gonna do what the hell I want to do. Right? Did he say that? Nah, he said, whatever you say to me, I'm gonna do that. Right? Do to me as it seemeth best. Right? Because he understood that, just because he king don't mean that, what I'm saying? He know everything, right? But you got a King Sluck.
Con, there was even one account. Now I believe as a man, hey, I think Joab was going off, but you could just hear the tone Joab was saying to David. But David was mourning for Absalom, and Joab, they got done coming from battle, and Joab went to David saying, basically he said, you got to get up and go in front of those people and say this, that, and the third, stuff like that, unless they hate you. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
David,
yeah,
he
yeah.
back saying, who you talk? He didn't say what you said. Who you talking to, man? No, he just did it, man. And
Right.
that goes humble, merciful and stuff like that. And that's why the Lord again be choosing David, man, be choosing Moses. And that's deep, man. You don't have to be the mightiest man to be a leader. You know what I'm saying? You look a gorilla in this thing. Lord loves the meek. In Psalms 37 and verse 11, it says the meek shall inherit the earth, you know? So
Mm.
that's who the Lord is looking for, not the people who just want to be authoritative over people, man, who just want the title. It tells you in Matthew 20 and verse 28. Let me get a preacher real quick. The real king, a real servant of the Most High God, or a real leader of the Most High God is servitude. That what makes you a leader is servitude, man. This book of Matthew, chapter 20
Right,
and verse
exactly.
28. He said what?
No, I was just saying, exactly.
Okay. God. And it reads, I'm going to start at verse Matthew 20 and 25, and it reads, but Yahweh shall call them unto him and said, ye know that the princes of the Gentiles exercise dominion over them, and they that are great exercise authority upon them. You see that? That's what the Gentiles do. Your boss at work, who's a heathen, an Edomite, he's always telling you this, that, and the third, but he's a hypocrite, man. You know, he telling you go do that, while he's in his office, got that AC blowing. He's in that nice rocking chair he got on a computer, doing on a phone, laughing with his legs kicked up, doing nothing. While you sweating, it's hot. The AC broke. You're doing all these different things, man. You better pass out. You don't have a break till 2 hours later, man. You better pass out because you're fasting. You're weak. You better pass out, man. Right? I don't know, man. But he's over here just chilling. See, that's what they do, man.
Right.
Yahushua was doing that. Wherever Yahushua said, he was doing it, man. Let me see. I'm gonna keep going though. Verse 26, Matthew 20, verse 26. But it shall not be so among you, but whoever would be great among you, let him be your minister. So if you say you're the greatest, hey, I feel like I'm better than this brother. I feel like the Lord chose me over this brother. That's off. Then how come that brother outworking you, man? You feel like you the chosen amongst his brothers. How come the brothers outworking you? While you
Right.
sleep, you over here doing that. While you doing this, you over here doing that, man. You over here complaining. He over here glorifying the Most High God, and he got it 10 times harder than you, man. So who's really the servant of the Most High God, and who's really chosen out the Most High God? That man's who's serving, bringing water balls to camp, doing this for brothers, doing that for brothers. You know what I'm saying? That's who really the Lord is looking for. I'm gonna keep going though. Matthew 20 verse 27, and whosoever will be chief among you, let him be your servants, even as the Son of Man came not to be ministered unto, but to minister and to give his life a ransom for many. You see that? So even Yahushua, he didn't want nobody to minister unto him. He was the one healing people, having compassion on people, up day and night on fire, man. Praying day and night for people, praying day and night for the apostles, man. Knowing that he has to get put to death for the people, and that's deep in itself. While we over here, we can't read that one more chapter. We can't call that one brother, man, that's about to fall out the truth, and you know it. We can't do that, but your house I did all that, and that's a cut. But Khan King, you got it.
Yeah, Khan. That's exactly right. But Khan, yeah, we can go back to that. Khan.
Okay. This book of First Peter, chapter 5 and verse 4, and it reads, "And when the chief shepherd shall appear, you shall receive a crown of glory that fadeth not away."
Khan. So the reason why Peter says the chief shepherd, because you do have many shepherds. You have a lot of shepherds, maybe like lesser shepherds, because we're not equivalent. We can't compare ourselves to Yahushua. Like, yeah, of course, Yahushua, he's the master teacher and he's the master shepherd, right? But you do have lesser shepherds. So when it says the chief shepherd shall appear, you shall receive a crown of glory that fadeth not away. And that's a very good precept because we know that that's what we want. We chasing after the crown, man. Because the crown equivocates to rulership, right? The crown equals rulership. Because even in Sirach 11, one of AHBAYAH's favorite precepts, if y'all want to know one of AHBAYAH's favorite precepts, is in Sirach chapter 11. Right? See that? I'm gonna pull it real quick, man. Or you want to get it? You know
God, I'll let you get it. Though. I'll let you get it. I know exactly.
Hey, God. See that? Hey, all praises, right? This is Sirach 11 and verse 5. It says, Sirach 11 and 5. Many kings have sit down upon the ground, and one that was never thought of have worn the crown. You see that? Have worn the crown, meaning what has been in a state of rulership, right? So when Peter says, "Give us a crown, a glory that fadeth not away," that means what? Essentially, the kingdom of heaven. And we know that all brothers, even sisters, right? We're yearning for that crown, because we know that once the Israelites are in rulership, everything's gonna be well, because the Lord is going to be a God and king over us. And you're going to have, we're going to be brought back to that same type of or that Slakia, what am I trying to say? Basically back to our rulership, back to where we actually are supposed to be. Because the Lord called the Israelite men gods, kings, judges, mighty men of valor. But when we look at our people, we not conducting ourselves as that. And we don't have crowns on our head physically. We're not walking around with a robe and jewelry on, real golds and real diamond. I'm not talking about that fake gold you got off the internet, bro. I'm talking about real gold and real diamonds and real rubies, and emerald and the sardonyx and the, all these precious stones and the actual scepter in your hand, bro. You're kind of like how the brother said, original estate. The Lord called us gods and kings on the earth. The Lord called our sisters princesses. So we need to be brought back to that estate. And the Lord said when he comes back, if he finds us ourselves literally or keeping the commandments rather, right, and enduring to the end, he's going to give us that crown. But Khan, you got it, King.
Khan, I want to get this precept and that spirit, Psalm 21 and verse 3, because I read it this morning. This book of Psalms 21 and verse 3. "For thou preventest him with the blessings of goodness, thou settest a crown of pure gold on his head." And that's what we look forward to, man. We want that incorruptible crown upon our head. It's not gonna be that crown that you be seeing on television, man. It falls on the ground. It got all the dust in it. Probably not even real gold, stuff like that. No, it's gonna be a real crown. It even tells you, but David, I think it was either Ammonite or a Moabite. I think it's an Ammonite. He took the Ammonite's crown. It was like about 70 pounds, man. 60 pounds, 70 pounds, depending on what website you go on to see, stuff like that. But that means if you put a 70-pound anything on your head, you're gonna be like this with no neck. Your neck gonna break. You're gonna be in the spiritual world, man. Just because you try to put on that crown. But guess what? In that day, the Lord gave you. So if that crown is like that back in the time of King David and stuff like that, how much more that spiritual crown that the Lord's gonna give you? It's gonna be a mighty behind crown. The design is unique. You never know how it's gonna look, man. And that's what we want. We want to get crowned with pure gold. We want to get crowned, what the brother said, the onyx stone, the carbuncle stone, a diamond, gold. Have you you want to come this way? That's your style right there? Then come with it, man. If that's your style on this side, then come with it. We got different flavor. Yasharala, he likes this type of style. I don't really like that type of style. I like this type of style. I'm gonna wear it like this. You might have your crown kind of tilted to the side. You walking down Jerusalem on a street of gold with your crown on, man. You got your I don't want to say army, but your servants on the side of you, man, while you on a horse probably too. You never know how you're gonna be walking in Jerusalem with that crown on, because you're gonna be a king. You know what I'm saying? But
That's right. That's right. And I just dream about having a crown on my head, man. I never wore a crown, you know. At least I don't remember, you know. Actually having a crown, like how the brother said, on your head, walking in your glory. Jake think he's cool because he got the Air Force Ones on, and he has a $200 jacket on, you know, made by Esau, and he has some pants or some True Religions on, right, and a belt, and now he thinks he's the he's the man, he thinks he's a man. It's like, yeah, that fake gold on, yeah, kind of showing it off. Might have a grill, kind of, you know, like that. Now he thinks he's the bomb. But how much more are we going to glory in the kingdom of heaven when we actually have all that stuff on, bro? 10 times is better. And it's real, you know? It was given to us freely, man. Or really with our spiritual money got ears to hear. But let's go to real quick. Salaki, let me get this quick precept. First Ezra chapter 3 and verse 6, and to be clothed in purple. So in the kingdom of heaven, we're going to be clothed in purple, right? Come. Oh, it's lucky. It says to drink in gold. So we're going to be drinking in cups of gold. You think we'll be drinking in these cups in the kingdom of heaven? I think we'll be drinking in that, bro. Nah, cups of gold. It says, and to sleep upon gold. So we're going to be sleeping upon gold, Lord willing. Right? And it says, and a chariot with bridles of gold, and a head tire of fine linen, and a chain about his neck. See, Jake always has to have that chain about his neck, and we would have actual gold, man, chains, right? Actual gold chains, right? So, and also, I believe also in another account, it said, oh, real quick, I'm gonna keep reading. It says, and he shall sit next to Darius because of his wisdom, and shall be called Darius his cousin. Even in another account like Daniel, he was called the king's friend, if I'm not mistaken. That was either Daniel or Joseph. Well, one of them, there was called the king's friend, if I'm not mistaken. Or it could have been Mordecai, but there was called the king's friend, And so what does that equivalent to? For who's the king in the kingdom of heaven? Yahushua. So if you're the elect, you're going to be called, and guess what? The king's friend, Yahushua's friend, right? You can call Yahushua's friend and have all this land and dominion. That's mighty. That's mighty. And Barzia had pulled this precept too as well. 2nd Ezra chapter 2, verse 45. He answered and said unto me, these are they that have put off the mortal clothing and put on the immortal, and have confessed the name of God. Now are they crowned and receive palms. That's a mighty precept. 1 Corinthians 2 and 9 as well. But as it is written, I have not seen nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man, the things which God had prepared for them that love him. That's right. That's right. Exactly. We can't even comprehend it. But you got it, King.
And let me get one more precept too. I just go back to rulership. You know what I'm saying? Rulership, in truth and sincerity. And the Lord, he promised the apostles that they'll be on 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. This is because Matthew chapter 19 and verse 28. And it reads, dang, man, it's a lot here. Go into the other Bible with it, man. Matthew chapter 19. Yeah, it's like that. Matthew chapter 19 and verse 28. And it reads, and Yahweh shall say unto them, verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. And that's what we look forward to, man. When the chief shepherd shall appear, we want that crown. What comes with a crown? That means you're in rulership. You're in authority. You're in a high class. You really think a homeless man's wearing a crown right now, man? No, you got different levels to it. You might be noble, a prince, a king. Those are going to be the people who's wearing those crowns, man. That's going to be us, Lord willing, because who are we? We're the prince of the power. Yasharala, man. Khan.
That's right. That's right. And Yasharala, means Yah, meaning he, Shar, Prince, Allah, God. He is the Prince of God, you know. So last time I checked, princes had dominion and being the son of the king, right? And they have power and they have a crown on their head, you know. So Khan, you got it, king. Um, yeah, but yeah, Khan. Yeah, we can keep going.
So lucky about that. This book of First Peter, chapter 5 and verse 5, and it reads, "Likewise, ye younger, submit yourselves unto the elder. Yeah, all of you be subject one to another, and be clothed with humility. For God resisteth the proud, and giveth grace to the humble."
Khan. So it's saying likewise ye younger, right? So now he's talking to the younger, right? Submit yourselves unto the elder. Exactly. So, really in this sense, it's not talking about, because you do have old fools, in the world. But at the same time, we want to submit ourselves to the elder. We want to give respect to the elders, because they've been here before us. And they, a lot of times, now I'm not saying all the time, but I'm saying, hey, 9 times out of 10, they know more than us, bro. They know more than us. They can teach us certain things. The Lord said, "Speak, young man, if there be need of thee," right? And scarcely when thou art twice asked. That's in the book of Sirach. So when we like how the brother pulled, I believe he pulled it too in Sirach. It says, when you're around the elders, don't use many words. They're going to do the teaching, bro. They're going to be teaching you how to how you should conduct yourself and all this other stuff. So that's why we got to give respect to the elders, because they've been here before us. Even in the book of Job, chapter 32, it says, I said they should speak, and the multitude of years should give wisdom, roughly paraphrasing. So, the longer you live and the more things you have seen, which should increase your wisdom. Not saying that all elders can break down certain things that the Lord has allowed us to break down and stuff like that. That's not the case. Just because you can break down Revelation 13, with a million precepts, brother, doesn't mean that you're wiser than this elder right here, who may not be able to go deep into it like that. But you still want to, okay, I hear what you're saying, elder. You know what I'm saying? I hear what you're saying. Hey, I'll even tell you, me and the Bible, we stopped by and listened to elders in ATL, man. I don't know if the brother remembers that, but we give respect unto the elders because they've been here before us. It says what? Submit yourself unto the elder. Yea, all of you be be subject one to another, and be clothed with humility. So we want to be subject one to another. What does that mean? That means, okay, well, it doesn't matter if, what I'm saying, this brother, he been in the truth for 2 years. I might have been in it for 4 years. And this brother, well, he can't tell me nothing. He can't tell me to do nothing because he'd only been in the truth for 2 years. He can't tell me to do nothing. No, the Lord said, be subject one to another, serve one another, be subject one to another, right? Obey each other. It's not like, okay, one brother, he ruling everything, he ruling everything. That's it. No, the Lord said, be subject one to another. Who cares about your name, your status, whatever? The Lord said, be subject one to another. It says, and be clothed with humility. So we want to clothe ourselves with humility. We want to be humble. We want to walk humble. That's literally what Peter's been going through this whole thing. Not being a Lord, but being an example. That's being humble. Walking in that humility, because nobody likes a arrogant person that just tells everybody what to do and they're not walking in humility. Nobody likes pride. Because let's go to Sirach real quick. Nobody likes that. Sirach chapter 10 and verse number 7. It says, pride is hateful before God and man, and by both doth one commit iniquity. So the Lord said, pride is hateful before God and man. God hates pride. Man hates pride as well. Because nobody likes a proud person that's just walking around with their chest all out and, they think that they're, just the shit. You know what I'm saying? Nobody likes that type of person. So we shouldn't conduct ourselves as such. It says, all of you be subject one to another and be clothed with humility. Because you never know who, first of all, who somebody is back on the earth. Second of all, we don't know how the Lord sees this person. You might see this person as, she ain't nothing, or this dude is nothing. You know what I'm saying? He ain't nothing. He's nobody. You know what I'm saying? This person's a nobody. Well, that may not how that not just like it. That may not be how the Lord looks at that person. That Lord might be highly esteemed of that person. The Lord might be very proud of that person. You know, the Lord may very much love that person. You don't know how the Lord sees that person. You can only perceive and understand and maybe suggest and maybe, you know what I'm saying? But we can't say for sure, you know, especially if it's someone in this truth that is sincere, right? So that's why we always want to walk humbly and show humility to one another, right? It says what? For God resisted the proud and giveth grace to the humble. So the Most High, He resists the proud. He's not dealing with the proud, you know? I'm going to get a quick precept on that too. Oh, Slot, about you there? Or,
Kanye, same trying to take away the word.
okay, Con. Oh, okay, Con. Let me get this quick precept and then you got it, King. Right. This book of Isaiah, chapter 65 and verse number Salaki 66 and verse number 2. For all those things have mine hand made, and all those things have been, said the Lord. But to this man will I look, even to him that is poor and of a contrite spirit, and trembleth at my word. So that's the type of man and woman that the Lord is looking for. You might ask yourself, okay, what does the Lord delight in? What does the Lord want to see in me? And this is for everybody, right? Someone that is of a poor and of a contrite spirit, meaning it's always regretful of the actions that they may have done, whether out of the truth or in the truth. It doesn't matter, because we all done certain things that we're ashamed of, greatly ashamed of, you know, and we want that to be blotted out. But the Lord said He wants the man or the woman that is poor and of a contrite spirit, right? And how the brother said as well, sincerity, right? And trembleth at my word. So the Lord is looking for that man or that woman that trembles at His word, is scared of Him and fears Him, and is also of a poor and contrite spirit. That's humble, you know, sincere. So Con, but you got it, King.
Kanye, I don't know if you already put these precepts, but I'm gonna get Psalm 37 real quick. So like,
Con,
who just point on that? Con, this the heck? Con Salaki, Psalm 37 and verse 11, and it reads, "But the earth shall inherit Salakia, but the meek shall inherit the earth, and shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace." So it tells you that the meek shall inherit the earth, man. You know,
yeah, that's right.
Salakia. Oh, you got it real quick, King. Hold on.
Con, that's very good precept. The Lord said the meek shall inherit the earth. The meek, not the proud in heart, or someone that is, you know, saying, well, you know, they're not good enough for me anyway. You know, this brother don't even talk to me, bro. You don't even know how to break down this precept. You don't know as much as I know. You didn't do the works that I did. Why you even talking to me, bro? That's moving in the proud spirit. You know, that's moving in the proud spirit. We're saying to a brother, well, brother, you know, uh, I might give the channel to you. You know, I don't know if you deserve it, brother. You know, I don't know if you deserve it. I might give the channel. You think this brother can understand? You know, I don't know. You asking people, you think this brother can understand? I don't know, man. I don't know if I should give you the channel. Brother, what are you talking about? You know, stuff like that is like, we should be moving in proud spirit. The Lord loves the humble and the meek. Con, oh, you got it, King.
Con, can you hear me?
Yeah, Con, we can hear you.
Psalm 10 and verse 14. The Lord hath cast down the thrones of proud princes and set up the meek in their stead. So you can see how the Lord cast down Pharaoh and he used Moses to lead the people of Israel, man. You can see how the Lord cast down Saul and he used David to lead his people, man. You can see how he set up Yasharala to lead his people. He always set up the humble and the meek in that office, man. So we have to be meek
And like Moses was the known as the meekest man. You know what I'm saying? So we have to be
Mm,
humble and meek. You know what I'm saying, in our spirit, because
mm,
pride is a lot of people's downfall. You know what I'm saying? When it tells you, I think that's in the same chapter.
right.
Pride is when you depart from the commandments. Let me see. Bear with me. I just closed the apocrypha. Let me see. Bear with me. Con. Sirach chapter 10 and verse 11. In verse 12. So like Sirach 10 and verse 12. The beginning of pride is when one departed from God and his heart is turned away from his maker. So when you begin to be prideful, a sure sign of that is when you don't want to keep the law of the Most High God. You want to turn away your face. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to keep going. Verse 13. For pride is the beginning of sin. For pride is the beginning of sin, and he that hath it shall pour out abomination. And therefore the Lord brought upon them strange calamities and overthrew them utterly. So pride again is you want to serve your own self and not the Most High God. You don't want to be submissive to the elders. You want to do what you want to do. You always think you're right. That's prideful. And the Lord always casts down the prideful people and set up the meek instead. But come on.
Mm, mm. Con, that's exactly right, brother. You know, Lord, he says to the meek, you know, like how the brother said, or it's like the Lord says in Sirach 3 and 18, Lord said, the greater thou art, the more humble thyself, and so shalt thou obtain favor of the Lord. So the greater we become, the more humble we have to be, you know, and that sometimes that might be hard because we know that in Sirach, it's like in 1 Corinthians 8 and 2, the brother already put it, hey, all praises. It says, if any man think that he knoweth anything, he knoweth nothing yet as he ought to know. Because in 1 Corinthians 8 and 1, it says that we know that it's like if I believe, yeah, kind of is, you know, knowledge it puffeth up, but charity edifieth, you know. So charity is going to edify, but we know that you can get puffed up by your wisdom and how mightily you might bring it out, how many precepts you know. Now you think that you're somebody. The Lord said, if you think that you know anything, you know nothing as you ought to know. The Lord said, the greater you are, the more humble yourself, man. You know, because like how to conduct ourselves as examples, you know, because remember, even the Lord is humble, man. A certain times, the Lord it acts you humble, man. Guess what? Yahweh Shah, when he was walking the earth, he was humble. What does he have to be humble about? The Lord even said in the book of Philippians, chapter 2. I know we got to kind of speed this up just a little bit, right? Because I know brothers need to go to sleep soon, right? But let's go to Philippians 2, right? In verse 8, it says, and being found in fashion as a man, he humbled himself and became obedient unto death, even the death of the cross. So Yahweh Shah humbled himself. Hey, the Lord was humble, so we have to be humble, right? You know, the Lord was humble, we have to be humbled as well. It said he humbled himself and became obedient unto death. So Yahweh Shah was obedient unto death. He came for the mighty estate, being the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, and made himself of no reputation, as it says, and made himself just a man. He didn't have to do that for us, man. He didn't have to do that for me, but he did it, bro, because he loved his nation. And he loved, most importantly, hey, guess what? He loved the Most High. Bakan, you got it, King.
Con, that's it.
Con. We can read on. Con.
First Peter chapter 5 and verse 6. Humble yourselves, therefore, honor the mighty hand of God, that he may exalt you in due time.
Con, Salaki. Um, right, that he may exalt you in due time, because right, how the Lord said, you know, he that humble himself shall be or it's like he that exalteth himself shall be abased, he that humbleth himself shall be exalted. Right. Bakan, we can keep reading on that. I mean, that's kind of plain, right? I don't know if the brother. Uh,
Can you hear me?
yeah, Con, we can hear you now.
Like Con, yeah, same overtime. Um,
Trying to take the word.
First Peter, chapter 5, and verse 7, casting all your care upon him, for he careth for you.
And that's a good precept too. We want to cast all our care upon the Lord because he cares for us, right? Quick precept. We can just get two precepts on that, when each or something like that. Hey, this is the book of Psalms chapter 55, verse 22. Cast thy burden upon the Lord, and he shall sustain thee. He shall never suffer the righteous to be moved. That precept is fire. Because the Lord said, cast thy burden upon the Lord. Remember, everything that Peter's getting is from the Old Testament or Yahweh, bro. Literally. You know what I'm saying? But it says what? Cast thy burden upon the Lord, and he shall sustain thee. We might go through a lot of stuff in our life, and the Lord doesn't want us to be stressed, though. In Matthew chapter 6, he teaches it about how not to be stressed. He says, look, just why are you thinking about today? You thinking about tomorrow? You think about next week and next month and next year, and you thinking about next 5 years, brother. The Lord said, take no thought of tomorrow. Sufficient unto the days the evil thereof, man. Roughly paraphrasing. Meaning you thinking about, you got a lot of stuff to think about just for the day. Why are you thinking about next week and next month? Right? The Lord's like, look, which of you, taking thought can add onto one of you 1 cubit onto your stature. Meaning, which one of you by stressing can you make yourself taller? You can't do that, bro. So the Lord, he teaches against stress. Because stress is a silent killer. You go through a lot of stress. We're not putting our burden onto the Lord and letting the Lord handle it. We can't do it by ourselves. You got it, King.
Kanye, that's my go-to Psalm 55 and 22. I love that precept,
Mm-hmm.
man. A lot of people always, like
It's
you
good
said,
precept.
stressing, but we always forget about that safety net we always have, which the Most High God. Like you may have a dad, man. He pushes you out into the world, get your feet wet. He may tell you to do this, do that. He doesn't really help you like that, but when you do need help, you call his phone or something like that. He's always there to help you. Same thing with this, man. The Lord even told you in John chapter 17, the Lord said, "Don't take them away from the world, but keep them away from evil." That's all the Lord said. So the Lord wants to still go through things, but He don't want us to follow out the truth, though. You know what I'm saying? He just wants to stay away from
Precept.
evil, but keep them in the world. You know what I'm saying? So the Most High, He cares for you. He cares for. Let me get this precept. So like, in the book of Psalm, chapter 34, and verse 17, the righteous cry, and the Lord heareth, and delivereth them out of all their troubles. You might not even cry on a physical level. Don't you know your spirit can groan, your spirit can cry? It cries out. When you huffing and puffing like, when you're doing all that, man, you don't want to get up. You tired as heck. You go to work. That's your spirit crying out. You know what I'm saying? You're oppressed on a spiritual level. That's your spirit crying out. But guess what? The Lord said the righteous cry, and the Lord heareth, and delivereth them out of all their troubles. The Lord is nigh to them that are of a broken heart, and saveth such as be of a contrite spirit. So you have a contrite spirit, a broken heart. The Lord is right next to you, man. The Lord's with you. You know what I'm saying? Because
Right. Very good precept. Con. What was that? Slacky. What was that again?
Psalm 34 and verse 17 to verse 19.
Con. The water. But yeah, we can
Um,
keep going on that.
First Peter chapter 5. He's at working.
Oh no, I said I think there's a lag, but we can keep going on that.
Yeah, there is, man. That's why we have to go to verse 8. Verse 8 is for this time right now, man. This First Peter chapter 5 and verse 8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about seeking whom he may devour.
That's right. That's right, man. We had to be sober and vigilant, man. Sober and vigilant. And Salaki, real quick, I know the brother made a point. Yeah, come on, we can't do it all. That's why the Most High say cast your burden on him, not just hard stuff. Literally anything you're dealing with, he gonna deal with. Exactly, man. Like how the brother said, the Lord is our safety net. And it takes faith to do that. That's why I always emphasize, bro, faith, bro. Like you literally have to have faith that the Most High is going to deal with it. That's how you can cast your burdens upon the Lord. If you don't have faith that the Lord's not going to deal with it, then how can you cast your burdens upon the Lord? You're going to be like, no, I got to deal with it. This and third. I got to deal with it. This and third. Well, is the Lord really going to do it? I don't know. Is he? He may not. Bro, if you have faith, you're going to be like, Lord, can you please deal with this? Lord, I'm going to cast my burden upon you. Lord, this and third. If you have faith, bro, that's why I always stress that faith is so important. Because if you have faith, you could literally do anything, man. But Slaki, Proverbs chapter 16, verse 3, as the Lord brother pulled as well. Commit thy works unto the Lord, and thy thoughts shall be established. Exactly. Commit thy works unto the Lord. But I got this Slaki, 1 Peter 5 and 8, be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. So now we getting on Satan, bro. Because guess what? We have to be sober and vigilant, because we understand that Satan's walking to and fro, trying to sift us the hell out, bro. With that woman, or for the women, that man, right? Or men, the world itself, the lust of it. Maybe you miss, making as much money as you made in the world. You was working on the Sabbath. You had that beautiful job. Let's say anything, bro. Like how I say, the world in general is lust. It's enticing to you. You know what I'm saying? You're like, damn, bro. I could really be, doing other stuff right now. Satan just puts that thought in your mind. You could be doing other stuff right now. Did you know that? You could be at the club partying. You could be pleasing your flesh. That's how Satan gets to it. Says, walking to and fro, seeking whom he may devour, seeking who he can, get out the truth, because that's his job. He's just doing his job, bro. For real. Satan's just doing his job by tempting you. Satan is just doing his job by doing certain things to us. And that links up with
Sloppy King.
Con.
I see a wolf right in front of me, bro. I think that's a wolf.
You see a wolf right in front of you?
Right in front of me.
Damn.
How do I change my camera? It's right next to my car. That's spiritual as heck, man. That is spiritual, man. I don't know if you can see it. I don't know. Can you see it? It's kind of dark. It's right there in people's yard. That's spiritual as heck.
Brother in the woods somewhere, man. Oh, damn, Con. So the Lord made it manifest. Because guess what? Like how in Acts chapter 20, it said that these men, they walk as wolves, bro, to devour who? The sheep, So Satan is like a wolf. That's crazy. So just as we're getting on Satan, and Lord willing, the brother's gonna be okay. You know what I'm saying? Lord willing, this brother is gonna be okay. But you literally have wolves out here on a spiritual and physical level. You have wolves on a physical and spiritual level. All right. So that's why we got to be sober and vigilant. Because imagine if a brother AHBAYAH, he on the live and he drunk, and he's just walking around and wherever he's at, and a wolf comes up and devours him, bro. What would happen then? God forbid, but what would happen? That's why the Lord said, be sober, be vigilant. Always be on your 10 toes. That's Satan right there. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, it's just Satan. Yeah, I understand that. That's being sober and vigilant. But we drunk with the philosophies and doctrines of this world. We're drunk with this world and this life. We're not gonna perceive what's Satan, what's not. Brother, this woman that's telling you, this woman of the world that's telling you to come over, right? At 2 a.m., bro, that's Satan. It's not. Well, that's how she is. That's just how she is, right? It says, right, he trying to get close to the wolves. Yeah, exactly. Trying to get close to the wolf. Oh, is that a dog? Is that a dog? I think that's a dog. That's a husky. I think that's a husky, and they get devoured up, bro. So that's why we can't be drunk out here, literally, physically, and spiritually. Like how brother said, the wolf's going to devour him. And kind of, yeah, that's Acts 20 and 29. Previous wolves entering in, right? Yeah, kind of, get the shot, post it, get the the bee sting. If you got ears to hear, the bee sting for the new pestilence that's out. If your brothers know the new pestilence, get that, Hey, so that's why we had to be sober and vigilant, because what? Your adversary, the devil, that's our main enemy right there. Satan. Because yeah, it's Esau, yes. But guess what? Who is controlling Esau? Who is controlling Esau? Satan. What is Esau's God? Satan. It says what? As a roaring lion walketh about, seeking whom he may devour. And what's interesting is Revelation 5 and 5. Yahushua is the lion of the tribe of Judah. But Satan is a lion as well. You see that? So that's why a lion, because remember, a lion at the end of the day is a predator, and we're the prey. So he likes to prey on us. He likes to devour us. That's his job. So what's interesting is Yahushua is that lion on the right hand side, while Satan is the lion on the left hand side. That's interesting, because remember, the Lord, he called us lions. Genesis 49 and 8 on down. The Lord said, Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up. He stooped down. He couched as a lion. And as an old lion, who shall rouse him up? So the Lord called us lions. The Lord said in the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 17, verse 10, and he that hath the heart of a lion, that is valiant. So basically, the Lord, he called us lions. We have to understand that, are we going to be the lion on the left-hand side, or are we going to be the lion on the right-hand side? Are you going to be mighty in wickedness, or we're going to be mighty in righteousness? All right? Come on. Come on. And like how the brother pulled as well, Ephesians, try to break us down. Yeah, come on. Exactly. Right? Ephesians 6 and 12, it says, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities. Exactly. We don't see Satan walking in the flesh, right? We're just in the middle of the night, 3 a.m. We wake up, and then we see Satan in the room like this. And then he opens the laptop. Y'all brothers know what I'm going into, bro. He opens the laptop, and he types in whatever, and he goes like that, and it shows it to you. And you're like, get out of here, Satan. I rebuke you. In the name of Yahweh, Bashim Yahweh Shah. You pull your precept, but then Satan, he grabs the Bible before you. And he's like, hey, well, you got that one? I got another one. You pull a pocket Bible out of your pocket. You know what I'm saying? Hey, this is the book, right? Matthew chapter 5. And Satan, he takes it out of your hand. So Satan, we're not wrestling with flesh and blood, right? Satan is a spirit. We can't see him. He's a spirit. We can't see him, But he's out here, though. He's out here. We can't see him, And like how the brother said, yeah, Khan, right? Khan, through crafty counsel, he tried to break us down, through the spirit, the word. Hey, Khan, that's right. We'll build us up. Hey, Khan, that's right. That's right. 2 lions, if you got ears to hear it. One on the left-hand side and one on the right-hand side. Satan is much crafty, Khan. And you even see like in the world, you have like animals, predators, they fight against each other to see who's the alpha. I'm not sure if lions will do that, but lions, there can only be one king. Shalom, king. You all right? You straight?
Shalom, can you hear me?
Yeah, Khan. You straight? You all right?
Kanye, I'm straight. Brother saying that's a husky. My fault. False alarm. But still spiritual though.
Oh. Oh, okay, Khan. See that? I thought the brother was in, damn, like that was an actual wolf. But Khan, that's a husky. All right, all praises, But that is definitely spiritual, like how it just came out of nowhere.
God.
But Khan, so like I just want to finish this precept, then you got it, King. Right, Ephesians 6 and 12. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, and against rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. You see that? So that's what we wrestle against. You know, not flesh and blood, but against principalities and against powers, rulers of the darkness of the world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. You know, that's what we're fighting against. You know, we fighting something we can't see. You know, the old man. Can you really see old man, bro? You can't really see it. You don't physically see your old man, but you know you have to fight it day to day. You just feel it. You know it's creeping up on you. You know, we can't physically see these demons, death angels, lust spirits. We can't physically see it. You know, we don't. But we just have to. That's why we got to perceive it through the spirit. That's why we got to be sober and vigilant. You know, and kind of like how the brother poet as well as Psalm 58 verse 6, break their teeth, O God, in their mouth, break out the great teeth of the young lions, O Lord. Exactly. And who is that going into? Namely these other nations, because they're lions as well. You know, mighty precept. Hey, you got it.
I'm gonna get this one precept real quick. So lock you. I don't know. This is one of my favorite precepts, man. Uh, Luke 22, verse 31, and it reads, "And the Lord said," you probably pulled this one out, but and the Lord said, "Simon, Simon, behold, Satan hath desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat." You see that? So the Lord perceived the spiritual demon Satan come after Simon Peter. Now that means Peter had to go through a lot, and Yahushua could see that. Of course, Yahushua, he knows all things. He knows most things, I'll say. And he saw that Yahushua was going through a lot. I mean, he saw that Peter was going through a lot, and he had to say something, man. He said, "Simon, Simon, behold, Satan have desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat." He was trying to get sifted out the truth. Verse 32, "But I have prayed for thee, that thy faith fail not, and when thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren." So what is Satan attacking? Satan is attacking your faith. He's not attacking anything else but your faith. That
Right.
is what he attacks. He wants you to be sifted out by you not believing on the Most High God, man. And we gotta be sober and be vigilant, because he can come by through a lot. He can come by your woman, telling you that the Most High God isn't with you. You're still a nigga back in the world, and stuff like that. He can come to you financially. You poor, you got nothing. It seems like the Most High God's not with you. Now you lose your faith. He could come to you by your family, your Aquathium, sisters, brothers, and stuff like that. He can come about many ways, but he's trying to attack your faith that you don't believe in the Most High God no more and His Son Yahushua. But verse
Right.
32, "But I have prayed for thee, that thy faith fail not, and when thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren." So when you converted, when you back in the spirit, you feeling on fire, what did the Lord say to do? Is it to do a video? Is it to go out and shake the hand? He said, strengthen your brethren, because they're going through the same exact thing that yours going through too, man. Because Satan's not just coming for you. We can't always put that guard up, poor me, that we're the only people going through it. Your brother's going through it, man. You know?
Mm.
So after you get converted, after you feeling you on fire now, you fasted, you prayed, the Lord put a spirit of might upon you, of zeal, you zealous now, and call your brothers and let them get on the same level you on, man. But come.
That's mighty. That's mighty. Exactly. That's caring for your nation. But yeah, we can go back to that.
First Peter chapter 5. Where were you at?
Oh, 9 now. Con.
First Peter chapter 5 and verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
Whom resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brethren that are in the world.
Yeah, brother just pulled it. He just said that. He literally just said that. Hey, we're not just going through like First Corinthians 10 and 13 says. It says uh it says basically and there have no temptation taking you, but such is coming to man. But God is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that you're able, but will with the temptation make a way also to escape, that you may be able to bear it. You know, so literally, we understand that there's no temptation that taking us that's not common to man. if you're going through something, guess what? Somebody else is also going through it as well, or has been through it, you know. So it's not like, well, it's me, like how the brother said, well, it's me, nobody's going through what I'm going through. Nobody will even begin to comprehend, It's not true. Just because you don't know them doesn't mean that they, not going through it, right? Everybody's going through something. Satan is troubling all of us, whether it's on a threefold, fourfold, a hundredfold level. Satan is always troubling us and will continue to trouble us till the kingdom come. He's not going anywhere. Satan's not going anywhere, right? So he's going to continue to trouble us. And we know that what's comforting is that, guess what? Satan troubled Yahushua. Satan is troubling us. But guess what? We all going through it, and we all have that same adversary who the Lord encourages us to fight together. All right. So it says, whom resist steadfast in the faith. We got to resist that steadfast in the faith, resisting Satan. That's what it's about. Bakan, you got it, King.
That's it. I want to get one precept actually. Because even John said he's a fellow brethren, I forgot how it goes. It's Revelation chapter 1 and verse 9. I, John, who also am your brother and companion in tribulation, in the kingdom and patience of Yahushua HaMashiach, was in the isle that is called Patmos for the word of God and for the testimony of Yahushua HaMashiach. So he even said that I'm a brother and companion in tribulation, man. Like we both go through the same thing. You right what you're going through right now, John went through it, man. And he endured all things for the elect's sake. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta arm ourselves with the same mind of Yahushua to endure all things for the elect's sake. Because that's all.
That's right. That's right. Beautiful precept.
First Peter chapter 5 and verse 10. But the God of all grace, who have called us unto his eternal glory by Mashiach Yahushua, after that ye have suffered a while, make ye perfect, establish, strengthen, settle you.
Yeah, Khan. So it says after you have suffered a while. It's just a while. That's what he said. It's just a while. Essentially going through right now. That suffering. The Lord said in Wisdom of Solomon 3 in verse 6 on down, I believe, says, whom having been a little chastised, yet shall they be greatly rewarded. So the Lord is calling this a little chastisement that we're going through right now, a little bit. Because it could always be 10 times worse. If we're thinking like that, it could always be 10 times worse. So the Lord said, after that you have suffered a while, make you perfect, establish, strengthen you. Right? So like you strengthen, settle you. So this trial that we're going through right now is to strengthen us. You see that affliction, Satan be having upon you, is to strengthen us. The Lord said in the book of Malachi, chapter 3, that he would sit as a refiner. So when you're refining gold, what they literally have to do is they have to sit down and they have to take this stick. I'm not sure what it's called, but they have to take the stick and they have to literally watch it carefully. When they're making like not pottery, but when they're burning stuff like gold and silver, they have to watch it to see because they don't want to burn it. You know what I'm saying? They want to put it at the right temperature. So the Lord knows exactly what temperature we have to be at if you have ears to hear. The amount of affliction we have to go through in order to be perfect and to be strengthened. Because the Lord said, when I am weak, then am I strong. That's what Paul said. The Lord said through the hand of Paul in 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 10. For when I am weak, then am I strong. When you're pumping iron in the gym or you're doing pull-ups or push-ups, when you're getting weak and you're like, like you pulling yourself up, like, when you get that face and that's, you're straining, that's when it really matters. Not when you're, this is nothing. Or you just benching 5 pounds. I could do this all day. Yeah, you probably could do that all day. You're not going to grow, right? So though we may not want to go through the pain, sometimes we have to, because that's the only way we're going to grow. So if that's the only way, then we have to go through it. You know what I'm saying? Like brother also pulled 2 Corinthians 4:17. For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. That's exactly right. That's exactly right. It says our light affliction, which is but for a moment. Because like how people even say in the word, pain is temporary, right? That's what they say. Pain is temporary, you know? So, and that's what we have to ingrain in our mind. What kind you got it, King?
That's beautiful. Yeah, I don't have anything on that.
Come on, all praises.
First Peter chapter 5 and verse 11. To him be glory and dominion forever and ever. Amen. By
Come
Silvanus, a faithful brother unto you, as I suppose I have written briefly, exhorting and testifying that this is the true grace of God wherein ye stand.
that's right.
Verse 13. The church that is at Babylon, elected together with you, saluteth you, and so doth Marcus my son. Greet ye one another with a kiss of charity. Peace be with you all that are in Hamashiach Yahushua. Amen.
And with that, we're not going to go too deep into that. You know what I'm saying? It's you can go into it yourself, but I just want to touch on real quick verse 13. Or verse 12 and 13. It says briefly exhorting and testifying. So this whole letter is exhortation for it's exhortation. And in verse 13, it says the church that is at Babylon elected together with you. Um, the Greek is difficult, and it really doesn't say the church that is at Babylon, but that's a whole video within itself. I might have to do a video on that separately, because it's gonna take a while. So with that, that's been the First Peter chapter 5 breakdown through the Spirit and power of Yahweh. We're going at this time we're gonna bring on closing precepts, right? You got yours first, Abaya, if you got it, or it don't matter.
Uh,
Uh,
um, I'll
some,
get this done.
some precepts.
Uh, I'll be forgetting to get that precept before the calls on the video start, man. It's
Uh,
John chapter 10 and verse 14. I am
mm,
the good shepherd and know my sheep and am known of mine. So the Most High, he knows the shepherd, man, and he called them by name. When he saw Nathaniel, he didn't say nigga. He didn't just say any byword. He said Nathaniel. When he say Moses,
mm,
he says Abraham, man. He says Moses. And that's one thing I learned about the Lord, man, about our Father. He doesn't just call you any. He calls you by your name, showing you that he has respect towards you. That's even in Westman Solomon, I believe 4 and verse 15. How he have respect unto his chosen. Paraphrasing, man. You know what I'm saying? So he
mm,
calls you by name. That's why even to Yahweh, he always called Peter by his name. Simon Bar Jonah,
mm,
Peter, and stuff like that, man. So I think that's one thing that's fire. And it tells you that the
mm,
sheep knows the Most High God and his son Yahweh. So the same way the Most High God knows you, you know the Most High God. That's how you know you are of him. Because
Con. Hey, that's beautiful. That's a very good point too. Exactly. The Lord calls you by name. That's fire. I got this precept to close out, man. And Con, the water for everybody that's been tuning in. We greatly appreciate it, man. Because that's important, man. That's all praise to the Most High. Con, this is the book of Amos, chapter 7. And brothers know that's the precept I put on my Instagram, you know. But that's neither here nor there. All right, this is Amos chapter 7, verse 14. It says, Then answered Amos and said to Amaziah, I was no prophet, neither was I a prophet's son, but I was a herdman and a gatherer of sycamore fruit. So meaning, in the world, we was nothing, bro. We was just a regular old Jake in the world. Hey, that's how Amos felt. I'm not a prophet. I'm not even a prophet's son, right? But I was a herdman and gathered sycamore fruit. I was just doing, just doing the day-to-day business, you know? It says what? Verse 15. And the Lord took me as I followed the flock. And the Lord said unto me, Go prophesy unto my people Israel. That's fire. Because remember, and we were called to be in the truth. We didn't choose it. If you understand it, right? Understand that. We have to understand it. We were called to this truth. We didn't choose it. We didn't wake up one day and just say, you know what? I want to be Hebrew Israelite. I want to be Israelite, and I want to serve the Most High God. And Deuteronomy 28, we're Israelites. We didn't do that. Literally the Lord had to call us and bring us into this truth, bro. Yeah, we had to make up our decision. Okay, am I going to serve the Lord? Yeah, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about you literally just coming up with the idea to serve the Lord. It's out of nowhere. That didn't happen. The Lord called us. So just as Amos was called, and we were called as well. Just like how the apostles, they were called, we were called as well to do this work. Talking about the men, and for the women, guess what? You were called as well to be literally walking as an example that you have to walk as, and to serve the Most High and be a handmaid of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Just like how we have to be a servant, you have to be a handmaid of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Being like Martha, who sat as at Yahweh's feet. She didn't care what the other stuff was going on. Or it's like Mary, it's lucky. Martha was doing other stuff. Right? If I'm not mistaken. But it was either one of the two. That's Luke chapter 10, right? But she was sitting at Yahweh's feet, wanting to learn more, studious with it. Mary the Magdalene was going hard for Yahweh. There's many women that was going hard for the Lord. So even in that same way, guess what? We were called to be in this truth, and the Lord chose us. He don't need us, but He chose us and gave us this great truth, right? This great truth. So all praises to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And the brother said, Psalm chapter 94, verse 16, who will rise up for me against the evildoers, or who will stand up for me against the workers of iniquity. And John chapter 13, verse 15, for I have given you an example that ye should do as I have done to you. 5 precepts, man. Fire precepts. So with that, all praises to Yahweh. By Shema Masha, one Malaki Habashah. This brother Yasharala.
Brother AHBAYAH.
Coming back, y'all, yet another video through the spirit power Yahweh Bashin Habashah. The water for tuning in. Lord willing, all Israel has a beautiful, beautiful, blessed Shabbat. Kwame Yasharala. Shalom.
Shalom.